Lisa seen cooking for someone special at her home. The sound of gentle rain blends with the rhythmic chopping of vegetables. Inside a quiet, warmly lit kitchen, Lisa stands by the counter, focused and calm. She's not on stage tonight, not at a photo shoot, not in the middle of flashing lights or screaming fans. She's simply cooking. But something about the way she moves, the careful way she tastes her sauce, the soft smile that lingers on her lips, tells us this isn't just any meal. She's cooking for someone special. Before we continue, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because what happens next will leave you speechless. The camera moves closer. On the table, perfectly arranged ingredients sit in order: Wagyu beef, fresh herbs, and a bottle of red wine already half open. Lisa checks the pan temperature, adjusts the seasoning, and sets the table for two. Every detail feels intentional, precise, almost ritualistic. Online, fans begin to notice. The tag hashtag Lisa cooking for someone explodes across social media. Theories flood the internet. Who could it be? A close friend? A long-lost love? Or maybe someone we've never seen before? As speculation rises, Lisa's phone vibrates softly on the counter. She glances at it. A message lights up the screen: "I'm outside." Her expression changes. A small inhale. She sets the towel down, wipes her hands, and looks toward the door. For a moment, everything goes still. She steps forward slowly, her heartbeat almost audible in the silence. Just before she reaches the door, the oven timer rings. The sudden sound breaks the tension. Lisa turns, retrieving her dish carefully, her breath shaky but determined. She places the main course on the table: 2 plates, 2 glasses, 2 candles flickering between them. The scene looks simple, yet intimate, as if every piece of this dinner carries a hidden message. Maybe forgiveness. Maybe closure. Maybe hope. Some close sources hint that this dinner might not be just a friendly reunion. They say Lisa has been preparing this moment for weeks, trying to rebuild something she once lost. But who is she really waiting for? Outside, a car stops in front of the house. Headlights flash briefly across the living room wall. Lisa freezes. Someone steps out of the car. We can't see the face, but the silhouette is familiar. She smiles, softly, nervously. The door opens. For a few seconds, time seems to stop. The two stand there, not saying a word, just looking at each other. The air is thick with unspoken emotions, recognition, surprise, and something deeply human. Then, finally, Lisa gestures for them to come inside. Now they sit across from each other. The camera captures only half of the stranger's face, but it's enough to show warmth. The clinking of cutlery fills the room. Lisa laughs quietly, genuine, relieved. It feels like the kind of laughter that only happens when you've been waiting a long time to feel normal again. Comments flood the internet within minutes. "Who is he?" one asks. "Lisa looks happier than ever," another writes. Fans analyze every detail: the ring on her finger, the song playing in the background, the label on the wine bottle, searching for clues. Just as the atmosphere softens, a knock echoes from the back door. Lisa's smile fades. The sound comes again, sharper this time. She glances at her guest, who looks equally confused. Slowly, she walks toward the sound. The room is silent except for the faint hum of the refrigerator. She opens the door. No one's there. Only a small box sits on the doorstep, wrapped in a black ribbon. Lisa hesitates before picking it up. She opens it carefully. Inside is a single photograph, an old one, of her and someone else, standing in the same house years ago. The face beside her is hidden by glare, but the memory is unmistakable. Her eyes glisten. She closes the box slowly, takes a deep breath, and looks back toward the dinner table where her guest waits silently. Two worlds now exist in the same space: the warmth of the present, and the echo of something she's tried to forget. The candles flicker. The sound of rain grows louder. Lisa sits back down, forcing a smile, but her eyes betray the storm within. She glances once more at the box, then at her guest, as if trying to decide whether to tell the truth, or let it stay buried. Sometimes, the most powerful stories don't need words. Just a quiet dinner. Just two people and a secret that won't fade. As the scene fades, her voice is barely a whisper. Some things never really end. They just wait for the right night to begin again. The screen darkens. A final message appears in soft white text. If you were Lisa, would you open the door to your past again? Drop your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold moments behind the spotlight. Because sometimes, the most beautiful stories happen when the cameras aren't supposed to be rolling. The rain outside had stopped, but the sound of droplets sliding down the window carried the same tension that filled the room. Lisa sat still, her fork resting untouched beside her plate. The man across from her, still half in shadow, leaned forward slightly, his voice low. "Are you okay?" She forced a small smile, nodding once. "Yeah," she said softly, though her tone betrayed her unease. Her eyes flicked toward the small box again, sitting on the counter like a ghost that refused to leave. The candlelight danced across its ribbon, making it seem almost alive. He followed her gaze. "What's that?" Lisa hesitated. Her hand twitched, as if she wanted to hide it, but it was too late. "Just something left at the door," she said, almost in a whisper. He looked concerned. "From who?" She didn't answer. Instead, she stood, walked toward the window, and stared out into the wet street. Her reflection in the glass was faint, fragile. "It doesn't matter," she murmured. "It's from the past." He rose too, his footsteps soft against the floor. "Sometimes the past doesn't knock," he said, "it just lets itself in." That line hung in the air longer than either of them expected. Lisa turned, her expression shifting between sadness and something that looked like resolve. She walked back to the table, sat down, and finally picked up her fork. "Let's eat," she said, smiling again, but this time the smile was different. Tired, but brave, the camera lingered on the two of them sharing the meal. The warmth of the food contrasted with the quiet storm still brewing between them. For a few minutes, it almost felt normal. But just when the audience began to breathe again, Lisa's phone buzzed once more. One new message. No name. No number. Just words, "You forgot something." Her fingers froze above the screen. She swallowed hard. He noticed her expression. "Lisa?" he asked carefully. She looked up, her eyes wide now. "I need a second," she said, standing abruptly. The chair scraped across the floor. She walked to her bedroom, phone in hand, the sound of her steps echoing faintly down the hallway. Inside the room, she sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the phone as if it might explain itself. The screen remained still. Then she opened her nightstand drawer. Inside was another photo, almost identical to the one in the box. Same place. Same faces. Only this time, she was smiling wider. And in the corner, written in faded ink, were the words, "You promised you wouldn't forget me." She exhaled shakily, clutching the photo. The air in the room felt heavier, like the memories themselves were pressing against the walls. For a brief second, the camera caught her whisper something to herself. "Maybe I didn't forget, maybe I just tried to." Back in the dining room, her guest stared at the empty seat, unsure whether to wait or leave. His eyes moved toward the box again. Curiosity got the better of him. Slowly, he stood, walked over, and lifted the lid. His expression shifted from confusion to realization. Whatever he saw, it wasn't just a picture, it was a story he wasn't supposed to see. Then, Lisa appeared at the doorway, her voice quiet but firm. "You opened it?" He looked at her, guilt written all over his face. "I had to. I needed to understand." Silence. Only the faint ticking of the wall clock separated them. Lisa sighed, stepping forward. "You can't understand it," she said, shaking her head. "Not unless you were there." He looked down at the photograph again, his voice trembling. "He's the one from that night, isn't he?" She froze. That name, he, carried more weight than any question. Lisa's voice cracked slightly. "Yes. But he's gone." The man hesitated. "Then why does it feel like he's still here?" Her eyes glistened again, and she turned away. because some people never really leave. The tension broke only when thunder rumbled far in the distance. Lisa reached for the photo, folded it carefully, and placed it back in the box. "Let's forget it," she said, trying to steady her tone. "Please." He nodded, though his expression said otherwise. The moment felt fragile, one wrong word away from collapsing completely. As they sat back down, the camera lingered on the corner of the table where a small droplet of wine had spilled, slowly spreading like a secret escaping confinement. The scene dimmed slightly. Outside, a single light flickered on the street. Someone was standing there, motionless, watching the house from afar. Lisa didn't see it, but the audience did. And for a moment, everyone watching felt the same chill, because sometimes, even when the past is gone, it still knows where you live.